Hello, everyone, and welcome. The Sunburned Albino is back with some more Ace Attorney Apollo Justice Trilogy action, episode 13. Yeah, I know it's been 2 weeks since the last episode. It's hard to find time to record this sometimes with everything going on. March is a very busy month for games. There's 3 more games coming out tomorrow. Granted, I'm only buying one of them, but still. But, yeah. Alright, let's get right back into it, man. And what was Alita Tiala doing inside it? They're talking about, I remember, they're talking about her being inside the noodle stand at the time of the stuff. Time to get to the bottom of this case. Alright. That night, I went to ask Dr. Maractus for the chart. I had no intention of ever letting that chart fall into the Kitaki family's hands. But Dr. Maractus didn't understand. For some reason, he thought the Kitakis had sent me. So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him. You knew about the botched operation, so you tried to get rid of the chart to save yourself. I won't make excuses. And I did warn the good doctor. I gave him a chance. I told him that Brat got his health checkup report, and that he was coming to settle the score. I see. Very well. Mr. Justice, begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. This is the last testimony. Either I perceive the truth, or it's over. Alright, I think I'm just going to story mode this, just because it's literally been 2 weeks, so there's stuff that I may have forgotten, and I don't want it to draw on for too long. Alright, Dr. Maractus for the chart. No intention of ever letting that chart fall into the Kitaki family's hands. But Dr. Maractus didn't understand. For some reason, he thought the Kitakis had sent me. So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him. So that's the part. Alright, on the fingers. Gotcha! Okay, but she didn't do... Oh, there it is. She tussled with her little scarf cape that she got going on back there. All I did was talk and lie. What? Show me proof. I'm pretty sure about this one. I think I'm getting the hang of this. A little slip in confidence and they give it all away. The proof is you, Miss Tiala. All I did was talk to him, you claim. Yet you can't hide your own nervous twitch when you say those words. My twitch? What are you talking about? You have a habit of scratching the area of your neck around the edge of your scarf. What? This is working better than I'd hoped. Her unconscious actions tell the truth she won't say. Habits and lies, 2 dots. Connect the dots and find the truth. Don't look at me like that. I told you the truth. It seems that when you recall what really happened in that office, I assume the evidence is going to be like the lamp that had a blood thing on it. You can't keep your hands off your neck, can you? Ooh, is it because she... Oh, and that's why she's wearing a scarf. Dude, she has ligature marks on her freaking neck. Oh, the doctor maybe, like, strangled her and then left, like, without killing her, and then she was like, you know what, I'm gonna get hella revenge. It seems that nervous habits are unconscious reactions that manifest when someone is trying to hide something. You can't hide behind your scarf, Miss Tiala. Something happened between you and the victim in the Maractus Clinic office. And I've got proof that shows exactly what happened. Oh, I don't need no story mode for this one. There's a red stain on the damn cord. What's that? You're touching your scarf again. There's something unusual about this lamp. The bulb is broken, and there's a red splotch on the cord. Seeing how you hide your neck, I think I can come up with a plausible explanation for the lamp's state. Well, spit it out! This talking in circles nonsense is killing me. Very well. The answer is very simple, Miss Alita Tiala. Please remove your scarf. Oh, damn. Damn, take 2 weeks off the case and I still got it. Objection! This is a trial to determine what happened in that park, yet we seem to have drifted off target. We'll find out soon enough if we're drifting, as soon as the witness removes her scarf. I won't do it. This is insane. I'm an unrelated third party. You can't order me to remove my clothing. Miss Tiala, I'm afraid you've forgotten what's already been proven. What? You're hardly unrelated. Please remove your scarf. No. No! I knew it. So I was right, wasn't I, Miss Alita Tiala? You're a domestic abuse victim! Shame on you! No, I'm just kidding. Your neck? That isn't what I think it is. Something did happen that night at the Maractus Clinic. You needed to get that chart back no matter what it took, even if you had to steal your fiancé's pistol to do it. But wait. Looking at this lamp and the witness's neck, it looks like the very opposite happened. Exactly. The victim in the clinic that night was this witness, specifically. You tried to threaten Dr. Maractus and he attacked you. That's what happened that night at the Maractus Clinic. Ugh. Damn, dude, how many pigeons you got in that little blouse thing? Order, order, order. Will someone please tell me what really happened? I told you the truth already. I went to the clinic that night to warn Dr. Maractus. That gangster knows everything. He's coming for you. Looks like my clinic's seen its last patient. We have to get rid of that chart. Quick, open your safe. Give it to me. So you can save your own skin? What? I know what you're up to. You aren't in with the family. And if they see that chart, you're finished. Leaving me holding the short straw. But if I'm going down, I'll want some company. Yo! And what happened next? He jumped at me and knocked me to the floor. Then he took that cord. Pal Maractus was serious. Deadly serious. He really tried to strangle me. I must have blacked out. Oh. So, you were the victim? And the red splotch on the cord was your lipstick. I didn't want to remember that night. That's why I didn't bring it up. There, are you happy now? I was out cold, almost killed, and you claim I then snuck into that noodle stand, but how could I? Oh, but there is still a way that she could. Because you see, she wanted revenge. Well, one thing is clear. We now know what really happened at the Maractus Clinic. And it would seem that our victim was not entirely without blame himself. I'm sorry. I get so nervous just thinking of it, it's hard to breathe. I've told you everything. Can I go home now? You bear some responsibility for events that day, true. Yet, if you were also a victim, this court would owe you some sympathy. Well, Mr. Justice, I believe this clears up the remaining questions for Miss Tiala. When did this happen? Suddenly everyone's sympathizing with her. I don't know what to think anymore, Apollo. I mean, is that it? Do we know everything we need to know about Miss Tiala? It's probably time to save. Very well. This finishes the cross-examination of this... Not so fast. This party's just getting started. Now, we rock! What? Those spikes on your head are softer than they look, or do you not have the stomach to go all the way? Prosecutor Gavin? Palmerectus choked Alita Tiala. She fell unconscious. But what happened next? He's right. There is more we don't know. But she was choked hard enough to leave that mark. She would have been out for a while. Even still, what if it was her in that noodle stand? Alita Tiala half dead. Dr. Maractus pulling that stand. And a bullet fired from inside the noodle stand. What if it's all true? We might have already figured out what truly happened that night. Ooh, what if after he strangled her and knocked her out cold, maybe he thought she was dead, and so to dispose of her body, that's why he had to take the noodle stand. Because, again, there's still, like, no motive for him even pulling the stand at all. So maybe he was gonna, like, set her up in there and, yeah, just kind of, like, leave the scene. Miss Alita Tiala, as you can see, we're not through with you just yet. You really want to blame me for this murder, don't you? You too, Prosecutor Gavin. Me? Fraulein, I only wish to know the truth. Well, let's go back over what we've learned up till now. On the day of the murder, Waki saw his checkup report, from which he learned about the bullet still inside him. So he took a pistol from the family stash, with the intent to give Dr. Maractus some of his own medicine. And Miss Tiala heard about this from Waki, so she went to the Maractus clinic ahead of him, in order to get rid of the chart with her signature. But then, something happened. Sounds like you figured it all out. But remember, I was the victim. I was out cold. But what about Dr. Maractus? That does seem to be the problem. He had just strangled Alita Tiala, perhaps, he thought, to death. What did he do after his crime? I was just knocked out, not dead. From the state of his clinic and the scene in the park, I think it's clear what the good doctor did next. Well, Air Forehead, care to guess? Well, Mr. Justice, what did Dr. Maractus do? Maybe he did think he killed Alita Tiala. Do I have evidence to show what he did next? Well, yeah, he pulled the noodle stand. But is this... Let me just... The bowls were next, of course. Bowls that belonged in a certain noodle stand, which means the stand was at that clinic. So the stand would have been the next step in the procedure. First, he had to put the bowls in the stand. Why? Because Dr. Maractus stole it and brought it there. What? Killing me disturbed him that much? So much he randomly stole a noodle stand? It wasn't so random. Remember, he removed all the bowls. Maybe because the stand was heavy? Or he wanted to put something in the stand in their place. Ah. Wait, you don't mean... I do. Dr. Maractus did replace those bowls with something. Your corpse, Miss Tiala. My corpse? Dr. Maractus panicked. He thought he'd killed you. His next move would be to dispose of the body. That's crazy talk. You're all crazy. Then let's think about it, logically. The doctor had a place to dispose of you in mind. But on his way there, who should he run into but the defendant, Waki Kitaki? I question your logic. What's this, Prosecutor Gavin? The park is a dead end. Why would he head in that direction to begin with? That's right. He had no reason to go there. Oh, now I get it. It was a trick. That spoiled brat made him do it. He made the doctor steal the stand. Tell me, why would someone go to a dead end? Unless the park was his destination. What? Apparently the defense has an idea. Tell us where Dr. Maractus was heading with the stand. Here, please show us on this diagram. He was heading... Oh, was he gonna, like, pull it into the river, maybe? Dragging that stand. You know what? I'm ready to take a leap and say it's in there. There? That's a river. Yes, Your Honor. I scarcely need to explain why. A perfect place to dispose of a body. He was going to throw me into that river? He didn't have many other options, Fräulein. I believe this clears up all of the remaining questions. The victim pulling the stand, and the defendant before him. And inside the stand, you, Miss Alita Tiala. And then the denouement, that's how you pronounce that. Wesley Stickler of panty snatching fame walks up. Seeing the two men, he shouts in that instant. Damn. So, I shot him? You were the only one who could have stolen Waukie's pistol. It had to be you. Well, Miss Tiala? Nice work. You mean I'm right? I mean you've done a fine job dreaming up a story. To get that spoiled brat off the hook. You're the one who's dreaming. Apollo's backed up everything he said with facts. If you're so sure he's making it up, give us another reason. Why was Dr. Maractus pulling that stand through the park? Who knows? But there's one gaping hole in your logic. I think Mr. Gavin knows whereof I speak. Whereof what? I can't believe she's still trying to deny this. Is this true, Prosecutor Gavin? Must I always be the one to point out Herr Forehead's errors? Maybe there really is something. I believe the Fräulein speaks of Herr Doctor's car. His car? That's right. The Maractus Clinic has that big garage. In which sat a green sports car, was it? Why would he steal the stand in the first place? If he wanted to carry a body, he would have used his car. And so we find our victim without probable cause to steal that stand, and our defense without a case. But the reason he couldn't use his car is because he hit the dude with it. He hit Phoenix Wright. His car was going to be on the lookout. Or people were going to be on the lookout for the car, I should say. I have an idea. You know that green car? I bet it wouldn't run. It was broken. Ah, what an excellent counter-argument, Fräulein. Too bad you're quite wrong. Don't tell me you've forgotten what happened to your daddy. Daddy? That's right. That night, the car that hit Mr. Wright was that green sports car. Oh, yes, I'd nearly forgotten about it. Afterward, he drove it back to that garage. It ran fine. That's right. So why didn't he use his beloved sports car, He's gonna punch a hole in that wall pretty soon. A glaring contradiction, to be sure. More glaring than your forehead. No. No! Dude, I hate when he makes that face. It's so ugly. Order? Well, Mr. Justice, why didn't Dr. Maractus use his car to carry the body? Is that a groan of surrender I hear? Some advice? Now's a good time to review all you know. Everything you've learned over the last 2 days. Everything I've learned. Mr. Justice, this contradiction casts doubt on your entire case. This is truly your last chance. The defense will explain to us what happened that night. Carried the body in the car. Someone else stole the stand. No, he stole the stand. He carried the body in the car is actually the only option. Alright, never mind. Thank you, story mode. I have an idea. It's all coming together. That night, Dr. Maractus couldn't use his car. Ha! Now you're making even less sense than usual. Not according to my information, Miss Tiala. Put 1 and 1 together and the explanation is simple. If it's so simple, perhaps you can show us some evidence? Show us proof why the car wouldn't run that night. I mean, it can run without a mirror. So yeah, it's not bad. I'm sorry, the panties? Because the panties were stuck in the tailpipe! Dude, what an actual breakthrough. That is such a unforeseen detail that it completely slipped everything. Of course we found them in the tailpipe, dude. But they didn't have, like... They weren't dirty. Like, those don't, like, if he tried to start the car with the panties in the tailpipe, wouldn't they have, like, a bunch of exhaust dirt on him? Let's see now. Panties? Again? All sorts of things come out of my panties. Even the truth. Another crime was committed the night of the murder. The theft of these panties, the latest in a string of similar thefts, actually. But that night, the snatcher was caught in the act. A brave young girl chased the thief until he hid in the Maractus Clinic garage. What? The snatcher hid the panties there before running. Perhaps someone in this court remembers where he hid them? Why, weren't they found in the car's exhaust pipe? Exactly. By the way, I learned something yesterday. A very important piece of information. And I learned it from you, Prosecutor Gavin. So you were here investigating? And I was on my way home when my hog gave up the ghost. Your hog? My motorcycle won't start. A clogged exhaust pipe. Too bad. It looks like such a nice bike, too. Hard to believe that it could break just from that. Damn, but someone stuffed some panties in his thing, too. Cars, motorbikes, they're all the same. Clog the exhaust and they won't run. Dude, that's such like a hindsight obvious, like, leading statement to make. I don't know how stuff like that just goes completely under my radar. My, how interesting. While Miss Tiala and the doctor were struggling, the panty snatcher snuck into the Maractus garage. From that time until the time we found these, that car wouldn't start. What? That's why Dr. Maractus had to use the noodle stand. It was the next closest thing he could think of. Well, Miss Tiala? Damn, I think I need to turn my microphone volume down just a little bit more. Because I am seeing myself go in the red a couple times. This wraps your doubts up quite nicely, I think. So it does. Where am I? So dark, can't see, cramped. Pain, my throat's burning. What's your problem? You, Doc, I know what you did. Waki? You lied to me, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you a taste of your own medicine, man. Wait, let me explain. Fine, I'll give you your last request. Listen, you're being tricked, but not how you think. I don't remember what I did to his voice the first time. It's not just me. No, he'll ruin everything. I have to stop him. Cease this at once, you two. Funny. This isn't the way it was supposed to turn out. Oh well, too bad. There's still one mystery. How did you manage to disappear from that stand? In the silence after the shot, I heard the witness running. I believe we heard as much from Wesley Stickler. He went to use a public phone to inform the police. Which is when I made my escape. Which is when you left that slipper print. Dr. Maractus didn't bother taking my slippers off. I threw them out after I stepped in that paint, though. That was your mistake. No. My biggest mistake was coming to you for help, Mr. Justice. I believed in you. You and your anything agency. If anyone would get Waki declared guilty, it was you. Damn, so she believed in us to suck shit? Get him guilty because we sucked? Damn. I believe we've reached a conclusion of sorts. Prosecutor Gavin, how is Miss Alita Tiala doing? She's confessed to everything. We're processing her arrest now. Prosecutor Gavin sure seems calm for someone who just lost. I think he already knew. He'd figured out she was the killer a while ago. Some advice. Now's a good time to review all you know. Everything you've learned over the last 2 days. He lost, but I didn't exactly win either. Something the matter, Air Forehead? Looks like it's time to announce a verdict. Damn. Yeah! Yeah! Party poppers! Party rock is in the house tonight. Court is adjourned. Great job, Apollo. You did it. Yeah, we did, somehow. Waukie's off the hook. Free to become the gangster he's always wanted to be. And he has you to thank. Hey, attorney man. Who's that? Oh. You're gonna pay for what you did to my Alita, Holmes. Or to blame, I guess. You give my Alita back. Stupid pointy-head attorney with a death wish. Enough, Waukie. Ah, Mr. Kataki. It's high time you opened your eyes, Waukie. What do you know, old man? I think it's about time you opened yours. Giving up the life, trying to become some kind of businessman. Don't talk about what you don't understand, Waukie. I'm afraid the guard is gonna throw them both out. If not in jail, wouldn't that be a happy ending? Hey, maybe we can help them out. We know why Mr. Kataki needs to make so much money. Maybe we should tell Waukie. Oh, Waukie, Apollo has something to tell you. Huh? I do? Way to put me on the spot. Eh? What's that? Show him the reason why, Apollo. Why is Mr. Kataki trying to become a businessman? Well, it's because he needs to pay for the surgery? Maybe? Maybe? Let me story mode it to make sure. Oh, it was, dude, I was right. Think about it, Waukie. Think about your condition. I talked with your mother, Little Plum, yesterday. It pays, but we need a lot of money right now. Clean money, that is. She doesn't mean... You aren't really... Are you? I searched the globe, and I found one. A doctor who can take that bullet out of you, Waukie. But it's an expensive procedure. Man, but you got plenty of money already, don't you? I won't use it. It was the gangster life that did this to you, Waukie. I want to help you, and I want to do it clean. Holy shit, he's got eyes after all. Please understand, Waukie. Dad? Man, I see how it is, old man. Always you looking out for... Waukie? Listen, good old man, one day, I'm gonna take you out. Then we'll see who's the OG. You try to hide in your business suit, I'll find you. Stupid old geezer. My, Waukie. No, it's as it should be. Mr. Kataki. I liked him more without the puppy dog eyes. I'm glad to have met you. I'm not so good with words, but I know a professional job when I see one. Thank you. Who? Me? I don't think... Someday, I'll bake you one of our latest, the Kentucky Lime Pie. He's opening a pie shop? So long. And he was gone. Well, let's head back, Apollo. To the Right Anything Agency. Hey, since when do I work at your agency? Aw, we make a good team. Don't just stand there, let's get going. Huh, why not? She did help me out. And there's a few questions that still need answers. Like this power of mine that she showed me. And my bracelet. If anyone can help me figure it out, it's her. That's right. Though I can't say I care much for what her father has become. Oh, that's right. We have to go someplace first. Huh? Where? Why, to claim our reward from Mr. Eldoon. Ah, salty noodles. Right. You got her stand back already? Oh, and after that, you can come see my show. With a special appearance by the amazing Mr. Hat. Oh, it's special, alright. Please, anything but him. That's the end of the chapter. Oh my god. That's gonna do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.